Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Shataria here at Chicago Branch Great Millstone, prophesizing the return of the Heavenly Father Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai. You all ignorantly call him Jesus, but his true and Hebrew name is Yahweh Shai. Coming at you with another lesson. But as always, before we get started, we're going to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekakadash. Double honors to our apostles and our elders here at Great Millstone who rule well. Honors to the hopeful elect, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the biblical and true Hebrews of the Bible. Salutation to all the Akim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity, the speckled bird, and all those whose lineage goes back to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, healthy Barakatha. And to the Akwaf and those of you out there listening and learning, Shalom and Barakatha to you also. We're going to talk about trying one spirit, okay? Making one, trying the spirit of a man to see if that spirit coincides with your spirit, the spirit of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, because once we have someone who just coming into this truth and you really don't know if he's actually about Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai or not. So that's why you have to try the spirit, so to speak, okay? But let's get some precepts real quick, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. We need 1 John 4 and 1. 1 John 4 and 1, it says, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are going out into the world. See, we just can't say because somebody has on fringes, okay, and they prophesizing in the name of the Lord that they are really of the Lord, okay? Their spirit bears witness of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai spirit. That's why you have to try the spirit, okay? Because you have so many false prophets, all right? Look at this guy who just got sent to jail. What was his name? The Lord is exposing all these wicked-ass camps and setting them out, these false prophets. Palat, he tried to make like one of the apostles that did something to a little girl, and here it is. The Lord put it out there. The Lord fixed him, okay? Now he in jail for the same thing that he was actually accusing one of the apostles of doing. The Lord fixed it where now you in jail for that, bearing false witness, okay? So, you have to try the spirits. Look at this guy from the Shikari, all right? Found out he was doing all kinds of manner wickedness, strange things, man. I don't even want to speak on it right now, but you have to try the spirit. Now that the Lord exposed him, now it's a fad, it's a trend. He out the Israelite movement. That's why we have to try the spirits of these people. We just can't be hasty to credit them, okay? And look at this guy who they just got killed a few years back, maybe 2-3 years back. The Lord destroyed him. The Comfy had one of them big congregations up top in New York and signed that 501c3 charter and know better. Okay, then we had one. We just had to do a mandatory lesson on him. How the apostles and the elders say he was from One West with Apostle Tahan, all them. And the next thing you know, he preaching that prosperity doctrine, how everybody can be saved, okay? And the elder was wondering what made him turn? What all of a sudden, the change, where did the turn come in? The turn of events, the change. What made you start, say the man had got $1.5 million, $2 million that somebody had put in his bank account, put in his account, and now every nation can be saved. The Israelites, hey, we done told these lies for so much, we believe in it ourselves. So you have to try the spirits of these people, okay? Again, this is 1 John 4:1 at the top. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are going out into the world, okay? So like I just gave you some examples. This guy with the Sakori, that guy Palat, the Comfy who he destroyed. I didn't know the other guy, but the list is endless, man. All these guys, that's why you gotta try the spirit, man. Let's go here. Give me that Job, okay? Give me Job and give me Job 34. Give me Job 34 and I want 3. It says, for the ear trieth words, as the mouth trieth meat. So when you hear something, all right, you hear it, but you want to make sure if what they saying out their mouth is true or not. You have to try it, okay? That's just like when you taste a steak. You don't know how good it is when you cook a steak. Someone cooks a steak, okay? You don't know how good the steak is until you try it, right? So you try it, you taste it to see how good it is, right? And that's the same thing with the, ears. They trap the words that you hear, okay? So eventually, ultimately, the things that we hear do have to be filtered through the scriptures, okay? Through the way we was taught by our apostles and our elders. And if it's not lining up, okay, if it doesn't meet the guidelines, you should know it's of a false spirit, of a false way, all right? What's that? Thessalonians 5:21 says, prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. And we prove all things through the scriptures, okay? And we hold fast to that which is good, all right? So, again, it says, for the ear trieth words, as the mouth tasteth meat, okay? So we have to try these spirits, all right? Eventually what comes out of man's mouth, you just can't take it at face value, act like his mouth no prayer book. We have to, do research and look into it. Prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. And we prove all things through the scriptures, okay? All right? So again, it said, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit to see whether it is of God, okay? Because they're coming to the world, many false prophets, all right? That's 1 John 4:1, roughly paraphrasing, which is what I started the lesson off with. But again, man, for the ear trieth words, and the mouth tasteth meat, okay? All right, so again, eventually, ultimately, the things we hear do have to be filtered through the scriptures, okay? And through that's how we are, we have discernment. We're able to decipher through the scriptures the way we're taught by our apostles and our elders. If, it doesn't meet the guidelines, okay, or if it isn't in alignment with what we've been taught, we know it to be a false way, all right? Okay. Let's go here. Let's grab 1 Corinthians real quick, okay? Let's get 1 Corinthians, and we want 1 Corinthians, okay, that's Ephesians. We want 1 Corinthians 14, and we want start at about 30 or 29, okay? 1 Corinthians 14 and 29, it says, let the prophets speak 2 or 3, and let the other judge, okay? If anything be revealed to another that sitteth by, let the first hold his peace. For ye may all prophecy, one by one, that all may learn and all may be conformed. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets, okay? And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets, all right? We have to, feel and test people's spirit before we just let them around us, okay? We can't let anybody around us in their walk that we're in, because they could be a spy, imposter. We don't know who they is, all right? You see what I'm saying? So again, this is 1 Corinthians 14 and 29. Let the prophets speak 2 or 3, and let the other judge. All right. So if a prophet is speaking, the other prophets are listening at what he's saying to see if it lines up with this word, this truth, okay, this gospel. All right. Is he a false prophet or what have you? Okay. Let the prophets speak 2 or 3, and let the other judge. If anything be revealed to another that sitteth by, let him first hold his peace. For ye may all prophesy one by one, that all may learn and all may be confronted. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets, okay? So you have to feel, and test the people's spirit before we just let him around us like that. See if he's really about Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Because Matthew 24 and 24 say it's going to be many false prophets. And they're going to show great signs and great wonders that if it was possible, they would be able to fool the very elect. And we call ourselves the hopeful elect. Lord, will we be worthy of that title? But, they can't get up early enough to fool us. Because the Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai rises us up early, okay? And we have that discernment in us, all right? Jeremiah 44 and 44. I've sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, raising them up early, all right? Saying, do not this abominable. Let's not butcher it. Let's grab it, okay? Let's get that one. Let's get that Jeremiah 44 and 44, 44 and 4, Salakia. And it says, Jeremiah 44 and 4, howbeit I sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, raising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate, okay? See, so like I said, you have to try that spirit, because Matthew 24 and 24 say there will be many false prophets, okay? And they're going to show great signs and great wonders if it was even possible to fool the very elect. But like I said, they don't get up early enough to pull the wool over our eyes, okay? Because we have that spirit of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Like it says, Romans 8 and 16, the spirit beareth witness that we're going to bring that up. We might close the lesson with that one. That's a good one, that Romans 8 and 16. We're going to probably close with that, okay? So we have to, we have to try the spirits, all right? We just can't be hasty to credit a man. Sirach 6 and 7. Okay, Ecclesiasticus 6 and 7 says, if thou would get it for friend, prove him. Let's get that. I don't have my Apocrypha app up. I just got this back started, okay? So you have to bear with me for a second. But I'm finna get my Apocrypha, and we're finna pull that one up. Sirach 6 and 7, okay? And Sirach 6 and 7 says, if thou wouldst get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him, okay? So if you would get it for friend, and that's the same thing Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai does with us, okay? He proves us worthy to be called his friends, okay? He don't just we just don't meet somebody, okay, and then talk about, oh yeah, he's a no, because it says, like Matthew 24 and 24, it will be many false prophets, and they're gonna show great signs and great wonders that if it was possible to fool the very elect. but they can't get up early enough to fool us. They can't pull the wool over our eyes, okay? Because our spirit beareth witness, okay, that we are of God. And again, that Sirach 6 and 7 says, if thou wilt get it for friend, prove him first and be not hasty to credit him, all right? Okay, that's what that Sirach 6 and 7 says. And I'm going to read that Sirach 6 and 7 one more time before we move on also, okay? This is Ecclesiasticus or the Sirach, okay? Sirach 6 and 7, I just dropped it, but I'm finna get it back. Sirach 6 and 7 reads, okay, it says, bear with me. If thou wouldst get a friend, prove him first and be not hasty to credit him, okay? So that's what we do. And again, Thessalonians 5 and 21 says, prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. How do we prove all things? Through the scriptures, okay? All right. So again, and that's just like we try him, the Lord tries us, okay, to prove that we're worthy to be his friend. We have to try the person who just comes in to see if they're worthy, okay? Because it's written that a deceitful man have many trains, all right? And we can't let everybody in our house. It's always a vetting process, okay? The pro athletes have what you call the, tryouts, all right? Like the NFL compound, where this guy can run a 9-second, a 9.0 100-yard dash. This guy here, he run perfect patterns. This guy here, he can stick somebody like glue without letting them out of sight. This guy here, everything you throw to him, he got hands like he got hands of glue. He don't miss nothing. So, again, there's a vetting process, all right? Like I said, pro athletes, they have tryouts. And like the NFL compound, soldiers have what you call basic training, okay? Before they have to go to basic training to see if they fit to be a soldier, all right? And any job that you get, there is a what you call orientation, all right? There's what you call an orientation or a probationary period to see if they're worthy, are they capable of keeping the job or holding the job, okay? So, man, we have to, try the spirits, all right? Again, we have to try the spirits, all right? This is First John again. 1 John 4 and 1, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are going out into the world. So we have to try these people, okay? And they have, to be found worthy, all right? We have to try them. Let's go here. Get ready to close the lesson. I said it was going to be a quick lesson. Let's grab Revelations, and let's grab Revelations 2 and 21. All right, let's grab Revelation 2 and 21. And it says, and I gave her space, Revelation 2 and 21. Is that right? Let me see if I'm on the right track. I think I want Revelation 2. I don't think that's it, what I'm looking for. No, I don't think that's the Revelation. I don't think that's it, what I'm looking for. I don't think that's it. What I'm looking for, Israel. I can't think of that precept right now, but um, let me see. Yes, Revelation 2 and 9, Salakia, for taking so long, but I knew I would come. And it says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And see, he knows, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai knows the tribulation and the afflictions that we have been through, okay? And again, the poverty, that's that poor state, and that's Israel. But we're rich because we're rich in the scriptures. We're rich because we have Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And he says, I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogues of Satan, okay? But are the synagogues of Satan. So again, it's going to be many false prophets, okay? The Lord know who they are. That's why we have to try the spirits, okay? We have to try that spirit to see if the spirit is of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, or if it's a spirit of the synagogues of Satan, like it says right here. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And this is his elect he's talking to. He knows what we've been through, all right? He knows the state that we're in, but we're rich because we're rich in the scriptures. We're rich that we're holding on to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogues of Satan, okay? So we have to try the spirits. We have to make sure the spirits bear witness of our spirits, okay? Because we don't know who's who, all right? We don't know who's who. Let's close with this Romans, all right? Let's close with this Romans, and let's close with this Romans 8 and 16. And Romans 8 and 16 says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. Okay? Again, Romans 8 and 16 says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. Okay? So it is through the Spirit that we know, okay? Not through carnal means, not through cause you like somebody, not through cause they sound good. Say their words were smooth as butter, all right? But the Spirit beareth witness. That's why it says, try the spirits, okay? And it says in Sirach 6 and 7, if you should get a friend, try him, and be not hasty to credit him. And again, just like Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai tries us to make sure we're worthy to be called his friends, we have to try the spirit of them around us, okay, to make sure that spirit bear witness, okay? And again, like that said, that First Corinthians says, the spirit of a prophet bear witness is of the prophets, okay? So we have to feel and test these people's spirit before we just let them around us and see if he's really about Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai not. But Romans 8 and 16, again, it says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. So again, it's a vetting process, all right? If you would get it for friend, prove him, okay? Prove that spirit to see if it really is of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, all right? Because like it said, again, Matthew 24 and 24, many false prophets, have gone out, roughly paraphrasing. Many Hamashiachs, we'll get that and close with that so I don't butcher it too bad, Israel, all right? And that's Matthew 24 and 24. And it says, for there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And like I said, They don't get up early enough to pull the wool over our eyes, okay? Because we have the spirit of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai in us, all right? And again, we hold fast to that which is good, and we prove all things. We prove all things and hold fast to that which is good, and we do that through the scriptures. That's how you prove all things, okay? And you hold fast to that which is good. Romans 8:16 says, our spirit beareth witness that we are the spirit of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, okay? So it's through the spirit that we know. It's not through carnal means, who we like, cause they sound good. Okay, again, Romans 8:16 says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. Okay, so again, that goes right back to saying ultimately the things we hear do have to be filtered through the scriptures, okay? And through the things that we've been taught by our apostles and our elders. And if what they're saying is not in harmony, if it's not in the guidelines of what we've been taught, we should know that it beareth witness to be a false way, a false doctrine, okay? All right. That's pretty much all I have. Lord will, the lesson was edifying through the Spirit. In closing, I'd like to say Shalom. Kwam Yasharala, rise Israel, rise, and Abab Abo. Until the next time.